Flipendo challenge. Collect the challenge stars. 3 secret areas.
Hold down the mouse button to aim the Flipendo spell. Release the button to cast the spell. Try it on that barrel.
Flipendo is our first spell of 5. You cast it using the left mouse button, as you know, you can aim it and everything. That's all that really matters. Flipendo's only use so far that we know of is being able to push things. Like, that's what we utilize the barrel. Now, if you jump down here, you could walk over. However, if you jump down here, you get a secret entrance. It's just so you don't get screwed.
Cast your Flipendo spell at the switch on the wall to open the door. Flipendo affects all sorts of things, such as this cauldron. Knock it over, Mr. Potter.
Flipendo is the most widely used and practical of all the spells Harry gets, because it has many uses. It knocks over cauldrons, will give you beams, activates switches on walls. So it's extremely practical. So we hit that switch, we get to go forward and collect a challenge star. Challenge stars. All they do is once you collect all of them, you can get 20 points. If you collect all of them, if you don't, you get less. I'll show you where all the challenge stars are, but they're not really that important because points isn't that important.
Well done. Now go on and collect your challenge stars. I'll meet you further on.
Onward, Harry. Now, going forward, we get our second challenge star. If you went the other direction when we just dropped down, you could take the secret passage again.
Hello, Harry Potter. I am nearly Headless Nick, the Gryffindor House Ghost. Now, this is a save game book. When you touch it, your game will automatically be saved. The game will restart from this point if you faint, and also load a saved game from the main menu. Goodbye.
Same game books, just save your game like from that point. This, like, the saving mechanic, not to mention the level mechanic, means this is an extremely linear game. Like an extremely linear game. Yeah, activate those 2 switches, you can continue through. And there's almost nothing you can do about it. You cannot transfer saves also, so the saving mechanic really, like, it lets you save the point you're in on the story itself, so for activating everything and collecting these beans. When you activate all the switches, you automatically run back and you're facing the place that opened. You can collect all these beans and the star. And now we'll press forward to get to the next mechanic.
Cast your Flipendo spell on this block to knock it out of the way.
Flipendo can push blocks. The barrel doesn't get used very often. The blocks do. Actually, no. I think this is the only stage the barrel appears in. But the blocks appear in a lot of more stages. And they can push. They don't get pushed all the way. And the idea is you can use blocks, you know, and climb on them sometimes. And jump out other places and get them out of their way. And bases you can cast Flipendo at all, so they usually contain beans. For a large majority of the game, they contain beans. Eventually they'll run out. And under us is Chasm, but we jumped over that. Now we get to the next section of the Flipendo challenge. We get to push that block out of the way, climb up, jump over. You can just walk over. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, I am running this on a laptop. A Vista, actually. Yes, I have a Vista, screw you. I agree, they're horrible, but that's just me. No, this game doesn't work on all Vistas, and actually. Like, the laptop in my house, like, could work this game and like, you know, the sequel, Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets. Yet it couldn't work the third game when the upstairs was the complete opposite, where it only worked the third game and not the first two, so... Doesn't matter, you'll still see all of them whether you want to or not. No. Well, if you don't, you don't have to watch them. But anyways, moving platforms. This is the survival tactic for moving platforms. You hit a switch, a platform starts to move. There's a switch right there you want to hit from the side. Want to hit that switch as quickly as possible, like that. Because it opens the gate you can get into. But the thing about these platforms is you cannot climb on them when you decide, so... Yeah, if you get in that position you die because of the instant death chasm. Anyways, we'll head back to that location because... Well... The last save book is the last place we were saved. That's where you go back to. Anyways, hitting the switch, and we could, you know, go back. We'll be able to get that stuff again. You know, like, now that we have, like, you know, time to kill, because we're just going back and doing the exact same thing, I'm going to explain this game's position in my heart. This is one of my all-time favorite games, and for no real reason other than nostalgic value. Like, when I was a kid, I never played video games. The only video game console I had was the computer, and later I had a Game Boy Advance, which quickly died off because it was, you know, near the time when the Game Boy Advance, you know, was getting replaced by the Nintendo DS, so yeah, you can picture how that worked out for me. And I didn't really get any much games. My parents were actually almost forbidden me from Pokemon. They thought it was like evil or something. Until I like got my hands on a Pokemon game, and I sucked at it so bad. But that's a story for another time. And so this was, like, you know, the first real game I ever played. And I was bad with it, and it's like over a course of a year, I was actually the first person, you know, in the group of friends that was actually playing this game that I had, you know, with my sister and everything. Another story I'll get into at the end as to like, you know, the story. But I was actually the first person to beat this. And then, like, when, like, my family got a hold of this game, because we always played this game at their house, we actually couldn't get very far in the game because of a glitch, which I'll explain at the end. That happens with this game a lot. Happened with this game for me actually recently when I tried recording this. I couldn't get it to work, but again, I'll explain that later. And so this is just a great game. You go up there, you can get the stuff, and kind of talked over, and you're done with the moving platforms, and you get to a whole new enemy. One of the first enemies in this game.
This is a gnome.
Oh, it's a gnome!
They like to pester young wizards, knock him on his backside to complete the challenge. They move quickly and can be quite a nuisance.
Gnomes in this game. Like, since this is the first game. Gnomes, they're pesky, evil enemy that when they see you, they will run up to you. And not only will they deal a small amount of damage, they will take some of your beans. There's always been one thing about gnomes that bothered me. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but all three of these gnomes in this room, like, last time I gave this game to Sorgin to try out, he could not do this room. He, like, lost all his beans and almost all his health. because he rushed in and the gnomes freaking took him down. You can take down most gnomes like a slight procedure by, like, you know, angling spells at them, like I'm doing. I didn't really leave the first 3 like inches of where we started out, and I was able to hit almost all of them. And so yeah, just be safe about gnomes. Since they take away beans, they can be one of the worst enemies in the game. But that is all for this level. We got all the challenge stars.
Mr. Potter. You completed the challenge. You collected
See what I told
all
you?
the challenge stars. 20 points for Gryffindor. Now, hurry on.
Yeah, this has been Pac-Quaza. See you guys in the next one.
Back in their Gryffindor common room, Harry, Ron and Hermione talked about their exciting first days at Hogwarts. There was much talk about the break-in at Gringotts Wizard Bank. But there was little time to dwell on this, since Harry and his friends were expected at their flying lesson with Madame Hooch.